The weather is just getting more and more fun. I am meteorologist Steve Krasinowski with your weather briefing Storm Scoop extended outlook for the week of October 22nd. Um, have a couple small little things to go over for the week, but our main event is the setup for a potential nor'easter. We've been talking about the possibility um, of this event happening for probably the last 6 to 10 days. But now it's looking to really be coming to fruition, and it's now time to bunker down and start looking at all the elements and create some forecasts that will pinpoint where and what will be coming. So let's jump in. We'll start with the daily look at today, and we'll just move on from there. So, as we typically do, we'll start with the 6Z GFS. Just take a quick gander at things. Something off camera here, or off the screen, is our tropical system Willa, which will have a pretty significant effect on the storm that will come up the coast this next weekend. Whether the storm comes up like this and cuts inwards, or it stays a little more westward, that will be something we have to flesh out over the next few days. But here's the current situation that we're going with. We have high pressure in gear, eastern part of the United States. Cold for the Northeast still. This is not going to change over the next few days. Quiet pretty much for the bulk of the United States. Some showers out west in the Four Corners area. Let's put this into motion, get things moving. Okay, so we have a low that cuts through the Great Lakes. It'll bring across some precipitation. You might see some frozen precip as we move across here, but I think predominantly it will remain rain. Northern areas of New Hampshire and Maine, overnight tomorrow into Wednesday, you might see a chance for some wet snow up here. Again, this should predominantly be rain here, even with the 540 line here. We could go through the layers and whatnot, but I think for the most part we'll just stick there. You're starting to see, let me see if I can just extend this down a little bit. There we go. This is Willa, okay? This will be one of our main moisture drivers. I want to put this ahead into the weekend. So now we're starting to get ourselves together. Cold air still in place here. Right, here's some more of that snow that I talked about. It's the back end of this low that pushes through. And that's why you're going to get some of that those snow in the northern parts of New Hampshire and the northwestern parts of Maine. And then over the weekend, this thing really starts to take shape and bomb out. See it start getting itself together. This is different than previous runs, and the models have been shifting west. At least the GFS has been shifting west with each view. You can see if I go way back here, this is the model run from yesterday morning. You can see it's just kind of been all over the place. It's the same time period. So system comes off, probably misses the benchmark by, I want to get 60-40. It's going to miss this benchmark pretty close, but it's going to miss the benchmark from this model run. Starts off some of the precip as ice, wintry mix, maybe some snow, inland specifically, Massachusetts, Vermont, central western New Hampshire. Probably see maybe some mixing into the seacoast, possibly, to start off, but temps along the coast here should be fairly warm. But inland, we're going to have to watch this swath of snow, and it's not a huge snowmaker. 4 or 5 inches. But the issue will also be winds and rain. We can get into that a little bit as well. I'll move this back up here. And then that vacates, and we'll start reloading again. Pacific Northwest brings in a system. Cuts down over the Rockies. It's kind of been what it's been doing a lot over the last couple of weeks, is these storms have been taking a path right over the Rockies and then shooting across up and out. So again, the Rockies get another chance for some snow. Denver's probably rain there. Maybe a little bit of a severe outbreak here as some of those air masses come together. And then another big storm for the following weekend. Again, this is way too far out there, but again, just to put this on your radar, no pun intended. So the main idea is that we're active. Sort of a little bit of a train in terms of precipitation. So here's our Tuesday and Wednesday disturbance for the northeast. Here's the Willa situation. Gets itself together off the coast and then strengthens and moves up. It's just something to keep an eye out on. As we get closer, we'll start looking at the European, and we'll start looking at the NAM. Again, the NAM can't look out past 84 hours. I don't want to dive into the European yet because I don't want to start playing Modo Disco. I just want to stick with the one model, and then we'll show the variances and the variations. So it's a lot to work with. We're going to be really in depth with our discussions this week. And get really in depth about what could happen up in this zone. A lot of people have asked us in terms of our thoughts on NOAA and their winter outlook. Thinking it looks a little warm. Doesn't jive with what we came up with, but that's the beauty of weather and science. And we'll sit and watch and adapt and see who's right. But not the warmest of storms, not the coldest of storms, but it's an October storm, and it'll be interesting. And I'm interested in seeing what the rest of the season brings. But that's what we're dealing with for the next 10 days or so, actually 2 weeks. So we may do another one of these on Thursday or Wednesday. I might try and get these at 2 weeks now, just to adapt to any changes and whatnot. Otherwise, I am meteorologist Steve Kusinowski with your Storm Scoop update. This was October 22nd. Have a great week.